Hi friends, good morning. It's Tanny the Canadian Stamper. Saturday morning crafting, and we're making this one with the Scenic Adventures. I love me a good scene card. So here's this is something azure is the color. That's the color we're doing. So most of this is all dies, and this is what we're making. We're gonna do all the die cutting. I absolutely love this set. I love all nature and outdoorsy type stamp sets. So these are all the various stamps, and then these dies are so cute. Okay, so we've got a couple of mountains. We've got some trees, some foliage, but look at this. There's campfire. Is it campfire? There's two little logs and some fire. It's cute. It's unique. There's not a lot. I don't know that I've ever, well, I'm sure that I've had them before, but, and then these are starry skies. So this are stars for the sky. So when you have a die like this and it's just bumpy like that, it's going to leave the impression. So versus say this one where, so you're going to go flat side down into your machine, but the raised bumpy bits, it's going to actually cut out all of that. Whereas one like this, it's just going to leave the impression on the paper. Maybe we'll try it on this one. So this is what's happening. Let me bring up your comments. I started my new job this week. I am loving it. I'm not really loving the commute per se, but I knew that was going to be a thing. Hi friends, I see you there. I'm just going to try and zoom in because I'm seeing on Facebook that we are a long ways away from each other. Oh, there we go. There. Muchas better. All right, so here's our I was going to say peaches. It's not peaches. Pieces. Afternoon Azure. That's what this is called. Such a random name. This is some DSP, Designer Series paper. I don't remember from where. Oh, and this one is also Designer Series paper. So if you don't have Designer Series paper with like this is a paper pack, 6x6 paper pack. And by the way, if somebody does know and you want to jump in to say what it is, please do so. If you don't have that, because like depending on the piece of Designer Series paper, the clouds might not even show up. You could take another piece of Afternoon Azure, or you could take a lighter colored blue, and you could either sponge some white to make a background. It just needs to have a background-esque. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have perfect little clouds, but something to go in behind your mountains and your scene. I guess what I'm saying is that you could use a different DSP if you have it, or you can try and make your own background. But it doesn't, my point being is that it doesn't have to be a perfect blue sky background, because you're putting all of this on top. So don't add pressure to yourself unnecessarily. Okay, so there's that. Now all of these pieces, which will be for sure in my newsletter tomorrow, but let me go through some skill testing as to what all these colors are, because the colors don't necessarily come through properly. So Afternoon Azure, Designer Series paper, and then we've got, oh my God, skill testing questions. Lost Lagoon. I'm pretty sure this is Pool Party. Oh my gosh, Granny Apple Green, Old Olive, and White. Oh, nailed it. It's really early for that kind of skill testing. Okay, so we're gonna die cut, and we're gonna, can you see the cloud up in there? Hi, folks. Thanks for the comments and whatnot. All right, let's do it. So I got 3 colors: Pool Party, Gray Granite, and Timid Tiger. That's a new color in the new catalog. Okay, so we're gonna take, so anytime I'm doing layers like this, you can just always know it's either gonna be 1/4 of an inch. This piece is either 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch less than the base, just like always, so that you know. So the base is going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So therefore this piece is going to be 4 by 5 and what did I say? 5 1/4. So that's that. Now all of these pieces, whether it be DSP or chunks of cardstock, are all going to be 4 inches across because I want it to nest in this designer series paper. So now we're going to add some texture to the water. So my silicone mat, I'm taking, nope, that's not. I'm taking the water stamp. Morning, Pam, Christine, Jen, Terry. Good morning, everybody. I need a scrap piece of paper. Let's use this one because oh, maybe I did do full strength. Let's just try. That's pretty dark. Not dark enough. Sure, let's just do it full tilt. So this stamp, you may not be able to see it, but it does have a bit of a taper to it, like thicker water, and then it kind of fades out a bit. So you can overlap a little bit, and I'm using my silicone mat to get a good impression underneath my photopolymer stamp set, or my stamp, I should say. So I am slightly overlapping to make the water. This is gonna dry much lighter than this. See, this is the same. So this is one element to our card. What's happening for everybody this weekend? Zach and I are going down to volunteer for his, he's going to Greece next year, and the Greece trip, I think there's like 30 some odd kids going. No, oh, maybe it is 30 kids. Okay, now I'm going to use gray granite to add some, you can barely see it, but it's nice to do the extra little touches. So there's the cloud stamp. And I'm going to see what this is all about, full strength or not. This is gray granite. So if you've been following along, Zach went to Belize, I guess it was last year. And yeah, Greece next year, because he's going to be in grade 12. So I'm going to do second generation. Yeah, I'm hesitating, but I'm just going to commit. Don't feel like you have to use the whole stamp set. Oh, it's just ever so slight. I dig it. And I'm expecting, can you see this still? Yes, I'm expecting this mountain to kind of take up some of this space. It's ever so slight. Can you see it? I think so. Are my comments working still? I think so. So there's a bottle drive down at the school. Zach worked until midnight last night, and I was on deck to pick him up. Okay, let's just finish our stamping so that that's out of the way. So the new job is awesome. I love it. It's fun to be back working in a detachment. The team is super talented and awesome. They're funny. It's always fun to be in a detachment, in my opinion. Yeah, so it's good. All right, so I think we're good to keep all those pieces off to the side, and let's do our die cutting, and then we're gonna assemble, and then we're done. All right, so let's talk about die cutting. I'm gonna use my mini. If I move all my stuff out of the way, I think I'm gonna, let's leave this. See if it helps. Oh yeah. The stamp cut and emboss machines have like these rubber feet on the bottom. I don't feel like they're enough though. And just in case you don't know, the stamp cut and emboss machines close up like that. So they're easy for storage if you're limited on storage. Then they just pop open like Like so. Good morning. Oh, hi, Janice. Welcome to Saturday morning crafting. I think you're a replay warrior usually, hey? But you're up. I don't know about you, but I find it challenging sometimes to sleep when it's so bright out. All right, so let's talk about the method to my madness here. I am, for the mountain, I'm just kind of evenly spacing it across my 4-inch piece. Let me tell you how tall this is before I get ahead of myself here. This is 2.5. You're gonna see why the heights of the paper matter when we go to put it together. So I'm left to right, just kind of wherever you want it to be. But then I am putting the mountain at the tip of this mountain at the top of my paper because I do want the full length, because we need to build the layers. For example, what I'm trying to say is I don't want this gray piece to be this long. Like, I don't want it to be that long of a piece. It's unnecessary because we've got all these other pieces. I mean, you could if you wanted to have that long of a piece of DSP, but it's not necessary. Okay, so that's garbage. And then here's our mountain. So it's got the definition and whatnot. You could, if you have just a gray piece and no designer series paper, just a gray granite or something, you could take your, what are those brushes? You take a brush and add texture. Okay, so now I'm just gonna keep cutting these pieces. So this is our Lost Lagoon, and this is our trees, which is quite long. And same principle, I want to put the die as close to the top of the cardstock as possible. Sometimes people will put the washi tape on here, the washi, so that the die doesn't move around. We're not, it doesn't have to be exact. We kind of want it to be a bit different each time, but you do you. So there's the top of our trees, and then there's that. Awesome. So I'm just gonna keep stacking up my pieces as we go. So now I've got 2 pieces of Granny Apple Green. So sometimes, if you're fancy, you can do a double, where's my die? This is the die. So we're just getting the top of the hedge. So you could do both of those at the same time. It's probably gonna work. Put it through once and then come back again, and you could do 2. However, for our card, I want 1 solid piece, but then I'm not using the whole, because I don't, whatever. We're doing it, you'll see what I mean when we put it together. I'm gonna do 1 full, and then we're gonna do the second one just slightly different because we're gonna offset them. I think that's the word I was looking for, is offset. Nailed it. So we just want to have, this is intentional, our chunk down here. You can always cut it if you don't need it all, you know. So this one, I am going to, I've come down a little bit and I've lined up this edge here. So it's just slightly offset. So Scenic Adventure is the stamp set and die we're working with if you are just joining us. So we're very close. We have 1 more to do. So Old Olive, and we have some trees. It's good to use up your scraps. Don't forget to use your color wheel if you are wondering what greens will go together, as we talked about last weekend. So if your pieces are not popping out, sometimes what you can do is that you can drop it on your work surface and it pops out. Or, whoops, where's my, not so much. So take your pick tool, or if you have a pin, probably a pin is too much. So somebody on a YouTube video referred to these as ejection slots. Seems very technical. Pokey outy holes. What do you call these? Do you call them ejection slots? It's funny, right? She's cute. There. Now, alternatively, if you have a die, because sometimes the dies can become quite sticky and it's difficult. So even if you use the ejection slots, and it doesn't, and so you have the injector, but it's tough to pull the paper out of the die. Get a piece of parchment paper, put the parchment paper on, run it through, and then you'll find it just pops right out. That one's a little tip. All right, so here's what we're making. Let us assemble. Glue, which I need to unclog. What's everybody doing today? What's shaking? Tell me about your life. What else am I doing? Oh, I started working with a kinesiologist. She comes to the house, which is amazing. And so we did a workout because we're going to use, you know, the stuff that I have here at the house rather than having to go to a gym and work out. So anyways, so I try to go swimming 3 times a week, and now I've got a routine. I have ankylosing spondylitis, so I'm always mindful, and a broken back. So I'm always worried I'm gonna hurt myself when I exercise. Okay, you see what I'm doing here? My strategy with all my bits. Okay. And so now, okay, so here, okay, these look very similar. They're slightly off, but I want it more off than that. So this one's gonna go here. It's just, we're doing it dry as we do. I do kind of want this one to go here, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this strategically to kind of cover up some of our seams. Tricky, huh? Okay, so that's gonna go here. Now, obviously this is too much of a gap. So I'm gonna pull this down. So they're friends. There. It's beautiful. And then the trees are coming down too. So as I'm looking at this, I feel like what should be happening is I should be adding some like ink to the trees and whatnot, but it's okay. I think I'm gonna go about there. Just eyeball it. All right, let's glue it down. Okay, so this one is good. So sometimes if you're doing it dry and you're not quite sure about, you know, the layers and remembering where it all goes, once you have it together all dry, just snap a photo of it. And then when you move everything, you've got it on your phone to kind of guide you, you know? Okay, so now I feel like this one needs to, nope, I need this one. Okay, let's just commit. I'm nervous about it all fitting, but if you use this Tombow glue, it moves a bit, so you can adjust your pieces. So just be mindful if you have this set or you're gonna get it with the little holes that add the texture to the mountain. So I'm just gonna go up slightly. Yep, there. Yeah, beauty. There. Yep, awesome sauce. Okay, I don't know if I'm not seeing comments. I'm not hearing about what you're doing today. Where's everybody going on summer vacay? You doing a vacation away, or are you doing a staycation? We're planning our trip to Ireland. with friends Christy and Peter. Got hotels booked and whatnot. I think I'm just gonna start popping this up because I need you to be popped. Sure. Let's see how this goes. I have to start dealing with the layers. Been following all these things on Instagram, these reels for people giving tips for traveling through Ireland and whatnot. If you're following along last year when we were in Europe, well, Italy, I've never been so hot in my entire life. And I used to live in Arizona for many years. How many years? Like 5 years maybe? And Italy has nothing on Arizona. I've never been so hot in my life. It's crazy. And so this time in Ireland, it's going to be more like here for the summer, which is, I'm very much looking forward to that. Okay, so now we're going to get fancy. So we're going to layer this piece, and then the trees are going to go here. Then we're going to strategically use this to cover that, as if like we knew exactly what we were doing, which we do. Okay. Amazing. Okay. Then this one. So I'm just going to put some glue down here. I think I might just risk, maybe I'll do 2 little dots up at the top. One here. All right, so what have you gotten from the new catalog? What's your favorite? Oh, this is an online exclusive, by the way, so it's not in the catalog. Oh, and there's the join special, of course. So if your wish list is $135, then potentially you want to join for discount and free stuff. Okay, so that's good. Whoops. Just have a little bit of glue between my trees. All right, we're very close to being done. So that's where that's gonna go. Yep. And then now we're gonna cover that up with this. So I'm gonna put dots at the bottom. Oh, there's your comments. Going to Creston. Oh gosh, I'm missing all the comments. Christine's going to Creston. Oh, kit together. Shoot. Forgot about the kit together, Pam. I'm not going to be able to go because I have to do this bottle drive with Zachary. Where's the bottom? Sorry, friend. Lance is working today. Usually I get out of that kind of stuff because Lance will go with. Actually, I can't even remember the last time I did a bottle drive fundraiser. Garden nursery. Yeah, some of our stuff didn't survive last year too in the garden. It's beautiful. I dig it. All right. So that's that. We're finished already. Are you able to add the directions you used for your mini folding garage? Oh, sure. It was in a newsletter a couple weeks ago, Dan, but I'm happy to add it again. If you go to my YouTube channel and sort the videos by like oldest to newest, it's like maybe the 3rd or 4th video I ever posted. It's essentially a 12 by 12 piece of paper with some glue and a bone folder. It's essentially what it is. And if you're not familiar, this is what she's talking about. This tabletop garbage. So this is from, I think, a 12 by 12 piece of paper, and then you can do them a 6 by 6, which is a smaller garbage. And then to get this paper to do this, it takes some work. This I've had for probably more than 5 years. And then I just kind of add the tape on it. This paper is by Stampin' Up! Is really old too. Anyways, that's what she's talking about. Here's our card for today that we're finished with. Yeah, so what I like about this and what I maybe would do differently is on this card, there's no popping. And I feel like the landscape kind of blends better. This one, I put dimensionals on this first piece of grass, and I'm not actually a fan. I don't like how this is kind of popped this way. I mean, I'm committed now. There's no turning back. I don't know. What do you like? Pop or no pop? Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Couple of spots left if you want to join for the June 7th Craft and Chat. And join the newsletter. I'll put some details in there. And have a fantastic weekend. Bye for now.